All right, make sure you guys subscribe to We Talk Weekly on all social media and major podcast platforms. And if you want to support us, make sure you make a donation. You can go to $ on Cash App, $ We Talk Weekly, or you can go to wetalkweekly.com and there is a PayPal option. So there are more than one way. There's more than one way to make a donation, and then you can donate by liking, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff. All right, so Cardi B has shocked fans when she posted a pregnancy divorce announcement on her Instagram.
Wait, pregnancy divorce?
I know, it's kind of like those things don't even go together. A pregnancy announcement and oh, by the way. But Cardi posted a maternity shoot style picture of her baby bump along with the caption, with every ending comes a new beginning. I am so grateful to have shared this season with you. You have brought me more love, more life, and most of all, renewed my power. Reminded me that I can have it all. You reminded me that I never have to choose between life, love, and my passion. And then she added, I love you so much and cannot wait for you to witness what you helped me accomplish, what you pushed me to do. It's so much easier taking life's twists, turns, and tests laying down, but you, your brother, and your sister have shown me why it's worth it to push through. So this news comes amid Offset cheating rumors, although Offset has denied cheating. But according to a rep for Cardi, it's not based on cheating rumors, but rather it has been a long time coming. Mm-hmm. And the estranged couple have been together for 7 years. They've been married for 6. And they share 6-year-old daughter Culture and 2-year-old son Wave together.
That's a shame.
So, yeah. So,
and now one on the way.
And one on the way. Exactly.
They're going to get back together.
Yeah, and you have a lot of people saying that, like, some people are saying they think it's a PR stunt, and then
she about to come out with an album or something.
I think she is. Her album is slated to drop sometime this year, so I think they're saying that this is not going to get in the way of the album dropping. But yeah, I don't know. You think this is news that she probably should have kind of kept to herself? I know she can't hide the pregnancy, like. But as far as the divorce, should she have just kept that part to herself?
Yeah, I feel like social media is everybody's therapist. Like they run to this first.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, put it on the shared document. And upload it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she should have just kept it to herself because they break up the makeup so many different times that it's like, just save us, spare us. Let us when y'all start signing papers and it's official, or then we want to.
And then as far as celebrities, they have to stay relevant, so it keeps them having conversations like what we're having now for them.
And that's true, and I think people are just so like tired and over this type of attempt to stay relevant or whatever. They're just like, some people are tired of it. They're like, we don't believe you. You need more people.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
And here it is with ASAP and Rihanna, who's quiet as they're quiet.
I love
but they're still relevant. Yeah. So that's
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's something.
Yeah, I never got that whole tell everyone your business, and that's just not me. So
yeah, and I think maybe it's like a different age because I don't know how much age difference it is from. I don't think there's much age difference from her and Rihanna.
It's not,
because I think Rihanna is what 30 something. They're like she's 30, right?
They got to be within that same ballpark.
Exactly.
2 to 3 years.
Exactly. Yeah. But she comes from the era of reality TV, and where on reality TV you got to create scandals and all this stuff to have a storyline and all that. So
Cardi B is 31.
31.
How old is Rihanna?
She's like 35.
Oh.
36.
36. Oh. Yeah. So they got a few years between them, but Rihanna has always, she hasn't really been private, but yeah. And I love them two together. Like,
Me too.
they can have plenty of babies and all that.
I seen some pictures of ASAP holding the babies, and the comments were saying how one of the kids looked just like Rihanna's father. It was like, oh my gosh, he looks just like her dad.
Yes.
Like, it's like he stole his whole face.
Yes.
But looking at ASAP, he kind of looked like Denzel Washington.
ASAP looks like Denzel Washington?
Yes.
No.
I think so. Like, he looks like the younger version of Denzel. Like, when Denzel first came out, he has that. I don't know if it's the jawbone or what, but I saw similarities. You're talking about no.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
maybe in one of his movies I could kind of see. Yeah.
If you squint really
Play
hard,
too much. After a double shot of Gordon's gin, if
if you squint really hard, I can see it. I can see it. Let me see. Let me go to Denzel. Let me see.
Okay.
I could see
maybe I
right
could
there.
see it.
Yeah, I could see a little bit. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I can see some similarities.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
just a little
what
bit.
do they call it?
Doppelganger.
Yeah.
Doppelganger. Yeah, no doubt.
Doppelganger.
Yes.
All right.
So the 2024 National Association of Black Journalists, NABJ, as everybody knows widely now, was slated to kick off with a sit-down interview with former President Donald Trump. So for those of you who don't know, the National Association of Black Journalists is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides innovative quality programs and services to its members. Anybody who is, joins to be a member of NABJ. The organization advocates on behalf of black journalists and media professionals in the United States and worldwide. So NABJ's membership is more than 4,000 strong, and it includes emerging journalists, professional journalists, student journalists, journalism educators, and media professionals of all kinds. So the reason why this story is just so important to me is because I'm an NABJ member. Also PABJ, which is the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists. So shout out to both of those organizations. But according to NABJ, the focus of the interview for Trump was to engage in a Q&A with political journalists before an audience of registered convention attendees that will concentrate on the most pressing issues facing the black community. So when the NABJ went into setting up, because they got a little pushback from some people and within the organization, and some members like, should we really do this? But ultimately they decided, and unfortunately the interview failed to go on as NABJ planned. Trump bumped heads with 3 journalists who moderated the Q&A, namely 6 ABC White House correspondent Rachel Scott, who I really love her work, but she was the main one that was trying to hold Trump accountable for his lies that he told previously and during this specific debate. So at one point, Trump even called into question the race of VP Kamala Harris, leaving a room full of black journalists stunned. Trump said, "I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?" Trump's comment, that is just how he got
She's just black.
And now she's a black woman. I said, what?
That's funny.
But Trump's comments filled the room with gasps and laughter from journalists who were shocked. But on the flip side, this actually led to deeper discussions similar to that of 2020 when it came to what constitutes being black. So according to the census.gov, African American was the most reported detailed response by those who identified their race as black or African American in the 2020 census, and that's the most recent one. The next one will be 2030.
So they took off colored, because prior to that, colored was still on there. But I just go ahead.
They must have, because I didn't see any mention of colored.
Okay.
But according this, they said African American was the most reported detailed response by those who identified their race as Black or African American in the 2020 census, according to the recently released data. So Nigerian and Ethiopian were the most reported sub-Saharan African groups, while Jamaican and Haitian were the largest Caribbean groups in the 2020 census. In the 2020 census, 46, I'm just going to say nearly 47 million because they got numbers, specific numbers. Respondents identified as Black or African American alone or in combination to the third largest race group. So for the first time in decennial census history, there was a Black or African American write-in area with detailed examples for people to report detailed responses.
That's interesting.
So so now you can just write in. So there was Caribbean groups who identified themselves as Black, but the Caribbean groups, they were able to write in that Haitian, Trinidadians,
so they Black
Tobago,
Asian, Black African, Black Jamaican, Black. Because a lot.
Jamaicans,
I'll let you finish. Because a lot. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Black Bahamians, Ethiopians, Somalians, Ghanaians, Nigerians, South Africans, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, I guess when even in some other countries, like they are in those countries, but they're still considered Black over there.
Yeah.
Over here, Black encompasses so many different ethnicities. So you're Black, but your race is Black, but your ethnicity is Haitian, Jamaican, Ethiopian, Somalian, and and so on and so forth. So I guess a lot of people, maybe Trump, when he made those comments, he just knew she was Indian, and
a lot of
Jamaican.
A lot of our brethren from African and the Caribbean, they don't identify as Black.
No,
and so
that's not here.
What'd you say?
That's not in the United States. They're in the Caribbean.
No, when they come to the United States, they don't identify as Black. Well, a lot of them don't identify as, not all of them, because not all of them. But
when you say you're Black,
when
they
you say
I'm
they
not
Black, they'll tell you I'm not Black. I'm X, Y, and Z. And so, I mean, that's an argument that that I have to give deference to them if that's how they choose to identify.
Well, that's true, but this is the government making these decisions for people, and unfortunately the government also came up with that if you have one drop of black blood, then you're Black. And
one drop.
Well, it depends on what that blackness is, right? So
everybody can self-identify, the way they
absolutely
want to.
Yeah. But that's the point.
Which is why if she's identifying,
shout out to Jacoby, he said race, nationality, then culture. Right, and so identifying
that is true.
Yeah. So identifying that and so we on the onset a lot of us. We say we consider you Black by way of how you're perceived from everyone else. And so whether you come from Africa, the Caribbean, wherever, if the police will pull you over because the assumption is you look like someone who will commit something, quote unquote, air quotes, Black folk, then you're considered Black. A lot of us just think that way, right? But yeah, I know a lot of Caribbean folks that stand on don't consider me Black. I'm X, Y, and Z.
I just fact checked something. In 1911, Arkansas passed the Act 320 because Sizzle just said about the one drop rule. The House Bill 79 said that the law had the two goals about the interracial couples. So it's true. They're saying that if you have that one drop, they're considering you a black person.
Yeah.
I'm sure they want to walk those comments back now that the minority is projected to be the majority soon. They probably, Dad, why we come up with that?
So Kobe said, shout out to Kobe, my guy. He said they identify by nationality first. Yes. He said we identify by race first. That's the difference.
Yeah, so in other countries, it's different.
So, right.
And this is the U.S. Census. Right, it's just only for the United States. Okay. That stuff.
I say they were all black until 2010. And so, and so I mean, it's one of those things where we have to give space for how you choose to identify is what you'll be called at that point. And so I guess just to bring this back, and I'll let you say something, Spark, but to just bring this back by what Trump was calling or saying, there was a point where she literally said that she's Indian, like this is what I am, you know. And then she went on a Breakfast Club and was like, yeah, I'm black. So it's what are you choosing to identify? The argument is, what are you choosing to identify with now that you got the support of X, Y, and Z? Because she's not saying it's okay to say I'm just biracial. Like, what's the problem with that? Like, if I think you rob people who are biracial, you rob their agency if you don't say that you're biracial. I feel like that. And it's some of them that say they don't know what box to fit in. Like, I love my white side or I love my black side, but I love my mom and dad. Like, I'm biracial. Call me biracial, right?
I think that's what Amber Rose was saying about how she didn't want to really deny each side. But don't we need to get more educated on race and ethnicity, though? Like, those are two separate things about culture and then about, I guess, nationality as well. Like, I think
people think it's the same thing when it's not.
It's not. So I think educating ourselves on the difference between race and ethnicity is something that we need to.
But I don't care what she identifies. If she qualified to lead the country, let her. She qualified. I don't understand the big emphasis. I mean, we black folk accept everybody.
Well, Trump did the same thing with Barack Obama. Former President Barack Obama.
We ain't care.
But and you know, VP Kamala Harris put it perfectly when she said it's just a tactic to create division.
100%. I agree.
You know, he may have been successful with somebody that's want to be like, hey, like you might have a point. Is she really black? I don't know. And if she's not, you know, he's just assuming that. You know, we're a monolith, and that we just all think the same, vote the same, do the same, and if one is just like not wanting to support her because she's not black, then we're all going to do that.
And I agree with this. He said race is a narrow construct. Since the world has gotten smaller, it's falling apart. I agree with that. I mean, we're integrating heavily. So in a minute, black is calling yourself black is actually losing its power. Black was great as a voting bloc, right? The more people who now identify as something other than black
are the minority.
Right? And so now you're creating a smaller pot by calling yourself black versus this integration of I'm biracial or whatever. Right?
It was also rumored, and I'm going to let Sizzle go back to our story, but it was rumored that some of the laws, I believe Trump had put them in place to stop the abortion in certain red states was because of the lack thereof of the white race. So they didn't want to basically have abortions because they wanted to keep expanding the white race. So in those red states, they made it where you couldn't get an abortion at like 3-week term, where the fetus isn't even grown, you know, controversially, people saying that the baby's not even a baby, and they're saying that you can't get an abortion during that time because they want to keep the white race going in those red states.
Yes, and that's exactly what happened. And I think here's the thing that, they don't realize that also what is expanding is the mixed race.
Right.
And I forget what date
Mixed
that they
race,
said,
yes.
but like by like 2065, the mixed race is going to be this number and into the millions or whatever it was. And it's just.
Yeah. And so us standing on, support black folk, black people, we need black. That's going to slowly.
It's starting to.
Yeah, it is starting.
It's starting
absolutely.
to. I mean, they're playing catch up like we did in Good News, Bad News with giving the grants and certain things to black and minority. But still, it's starting to, like you said, lose the power of what that once was.
And that's okay. It's I mean, more groups are now supporting, like the NAACP. They're now supporting like other minority or marginalized groups, and so it is what it is, I guess. I mean, what can you say? Things are changing.
Yeah, I think the most important thing when it comes down to this. I know every year you hear it's a pivotal election, but you get tired of hearing that. Like, you say that every time. But honestly, the real pivotal ones is the midterm elections, when you're voting for your House of Representatives, your Senates, your judges, your all those people that's really making the decisions now in the community that affect JoJo being locked up for some nonsense that he really should not be. I'm not going to belabor that, but like, just get out and vote for the candidate who is supporting the things that you want to see done, regardless of their race, sex, or whatever. All right, so the Celebrity Sizzle Award goes to. We were just on this topic. Lauren Scruggs, she makes history by becoming the first Black American woman to win an Olympics fencing medal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she deserved that.
Yeah. So Lauren, who began fencing at the age of 7, who was encouraged by her brother, she defeated Italy's Ariana Ergo, clinching the U.S.'s first time ever winning gold in fencing. So in an interview with NBC News, Lauren said, "I hope to be an example of who can fence. Hopefully people like me who identify similar to me feel that this sport is the place for them. Fencing has largely historically been a non-black sport. So I hope to inspire young girls to get into fencing and to think that they can have a place in the sport. I just hope that more people who look like me, little girls like me, feel they have a place in the sport." And Lauren also won silver in women's individual foil fencing. And she is a New York native. I can't remember exactly where, but she's a native of New York. And she's also in school at Harvard. And she's a mentor to other young girls. So shout out to her. I think that's amazing. That's history right there.
Yes, it is. That's awesome.
Yeah, she deserves. I mean, we don't even think about or talk about fencing. There's certain sports when it comes to us black folk. We're talking about black folk, right? We don't mention or speak about fencing. We don't think about or mention like things like polo. Very, recently did we start talking about swimming, because it's a sister who actually been doing excellent in swimming, but we used to swim. We used to play hockey. I'm not going to get into like all these sports that we used to do, even cowboys and lassoing and doing a lot of different things that, we were known to do back then. But I think that this is refreshing to see the sister and her getting her props for that.
Yeah, and I just want to close out with this. Like, I got into like this little debate thing with my family, and we were just there was a clip of what's his name, Charleston White, where he's talking about black people haven't done anything. They haven't done nothing, and this generation just need to be wiped out. Or so he was just saying some really, really horrible, negative things. And I'm like, he's like, in the last 50 days, what have black people done? We haven't done anything. We just horrible. And I was like, if that's reverse psychology is just terrible. I can think of so many different things that black people do that is like.
He's saying it holistically, like overall, or just like everything that's been created. I have. It was. Yeah. Jacoby says he's a broken clock. Everything that has been created has been by the hands of black people. But getting back to the Olympics thing real quick, they're still adding different sports too. Like, you know, one sport I think they'll add eventually, cornhole. That was not a popular
Somebody
sport.
at my job said that,
and now it's starting. I watch. It wasn't in the Olympics, but they had someone that they competition wise, and they won a lot of money, and they were good.
I can see that.
They were good. So I was like, that's becoming very popular.
Yeah, they're going to take out boxing.
Take it out?
They're going to take out boxing
because of the.
I don't know why, but that's
that the only one, only physical sport like that?
Say that again?
Is that the only physical sport? Like,
well, they got wrestling. They don't have like, bare knuckle fighting or anything, UFC or anything like that. But they do have wrestling, which is, so actually that's something that Jacoby, that's what he did when he was in college, so he would know. But definitely they said they were taking out boxing, which is unfortunate. But
breakdancing,
he said breakdancing.
Wow. So that's hip hop.
Yeah.
I think now the times are changing. Like the people that are getting in the Olympics now are into different things that nobody was really doing back in the day. So I guess maybe now they're changing the the stuff that people can do and get, which is, I think that's dope.
I think it's dope too. I'm not sure why they taking out boxing. It was only 3 rounds, and it's an art to that. So I don't know. I just don't know. I'd have to look more into it. But yeah, I heard they was taking that out. Yeah.
Maybe they put in freestyling, like rapping, freestyling. Rap
as Olympics. The Olympics. That's funny. I mean,
Yeah, I'm your girl, Lauren Sizzle, and that was the Sizzle.
And that was the Sizzle, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your boy, Charles Gregory, with the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
And the beautiful.
We
talk weeklies after the talk on WPP MLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk. And when we come back, we got a dynamic interview. We're going to talk to Brittany. Talk to her and see some of the things that's going up. We'll be right back, y'all. Hold on, let me pull this concert real quick. I said concert. This comment real quick. USA lost to the Netherlands in the mixed four. What? We just broke a record. We literally just broke a record in the mixed 4x4. I missed this today. And unfortunately, yesterday we broke a record. The young lady, she just took off. And interesting. That's a shame. This was my thing. I used to run, and so wow, that's a shame. I missed that. We got beat by the Netherlands. They got their work though. I got to give it to them. They got their work. I give them their props. All right, y'all. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after this.
What's going on, you guys? This is Bridget Kelly, and you are locked into We Talk Weekly.